It is truly astonishing how YouTube gets more and more incompetent with each passing day. So before I drag YouTube to the basement, put a ball gag in his mouth, lube him up, and fuck him in the ass, hoping to God that Bruce Willis isn't walking with a katana sword, hence the music that's playing in the background. Yes, relax, it's a Pulp Fiction reference. Before I dig into YouTube, let me talk about the Alex Jones thing, because that's what kind of led up to this. So earlier this week, four companies, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple, came together and banned Alex Jones from their platforms. And yes, it's so obvious that's what happened. They did come together for this, because this all happened within hours. And it's actually scary that these four companies, these four separate companies, they came together like the four horsemen of the apocalypse. They snapped their fingers and Alex Jones' internet career just died. Outside of his own website, of course. Now, apparently, Twitter's keeping him on. Some people were kind of upset about it, and like Chris Raygun said, there are people who've said way worse than Alex Jones. You know, Chris Raygun did a video on it earlier today, or in your case, yesterday, because, you know, this is coming out the next day. And he even said, like, there's people like the Westboro Baptist Church who've done and said way worse. You know, and that's true. I mean, I don't know Alex Jones from Adam, but I can't possibly imagine he said anything or has done anything worse than the Westboro Baptist Church. I don't see him out there protesting funerals and shit. That's what they do, you know, using religion to push an agenda. I don't think that's something Alex Jones did. Regardless of that, though, between those assholes, between Alex Jones, they all have the right to free speech. I mean, that's what this was, an attack on free speech. I don't know Alex Jones from Adam. I don't know anything about his political views. I don't give a fuck about politics at all. There's a reason why I poke fun at the Amazing Lucas all the time. Because he is just like all the rest of these people who talk politics 24/7. They're just a bunch of pretentious douchebags who pretend they're morally superior and intellectually superior to other people who believe something else different politically. Fuck you. I mean, the left and right, they're both full of assholes. I don't see how anyone can sit here and pretend like one side is better than the other. You're both douchebags. Pretentious ones at that. You're not smart because you think something else politically. You're fucking stupid. Okay? Like a bunch of children arguing over which is better, Pokemon or Digimon. Who fucking cares? Really? But anyway, I don't give a fuck about Alex Jones' politics. It's an obvious attack on free speech. Now, if this happened 4 separate times, that'd be different. If YouTube had banned him last year, and then Facebook 6 months later, then Spotify 3 months later, and then fucking Apple yesterday, that'd be different. Because that'd be like, all right, you know, that they, you know, had their reasons, I guess. I mean, even though the reasons they give today are very fucking like, oh yeah, he did hate speech and stuff. Like, what hate speech? What did he say? What did he say that led you to do this? You know, they don't give answers. They just go, well, fuck you. You know, it's like it's kind of like the collab DRM thing, which I hate them too. I never talked about the Alinity thing because I didn't feel like it was worth talking about. I mean, you see the footage of Alinity, you know, chewing food into the mic like a fucking sound like cows grazing and shit, and trying to copyright strike PewDiePie's channel and for bullshit. You know, what is there to say at this point? But collab DRM is fucking terrible because Philip DeFranco talked about their policies. And they actually have a policy with like a FAQ section where someone asks a question like, you know, how do I know when my video, at what point is my video breaking or infringing on your copyright or whatever? And they go, well, it's not our job to tell you what you're doing to incite our copyright claim or whatever. Basically saying, we're not gonna tell you how to keep us from making money off your shit. You know, they're just a bunch of scumbags just like this bitch, so whatever. It's the same thing here. They're not telling us anything other than hate speech and other shit. And the YouTube one was really fucking just really disturbing because they banned him twice on his second channel too for circumventing the live stream restriction, which I'll get into that in a second because that's what led to this video. They pretty much said, like, all right, yeah, you found a way around that bullshit. Well, now we're banning this channel, too, because when we say you get a live stream restriction, that means we don't see your face and live in the same fucking place, you know what I mean? They're just scumbags. They're really shitty people, this company. And yes, I know he did some things, like with the Sandy Hook thing. I mean, it's like, I don't care about his politics, okay? I don't care about these conspiracy theorists, because some people, like I said, people like fucking NetAlien17 and Nature Restored, formerly Meowit, they act like they're superior to you because they believe something differently from the majority of people. So even if you prove the Earth is not flat, you know, there is space, you know, there's science and all this other shit, they look at this fucking screenshot. I was gonna make a video on this dude like not too long ago. I decided fuck it, but look at this fucking screenshot. Guy asks him what, and granted he did kind of provoke him in the beginning, but he just simply asks, why do you think, how come you don't think you're brainwashed? What if you're maybe brainwashed into believing certain shit? And he goes into this 18 paragraph long tirade and it's like, bam, you question his beliefs, boom, that's it, you know? So, I don't know much about conspiracy theorists. I don't care for them because of these two people to start with. You know, but it's like, this seems really fucking odd that 4 companies came together and said, fuck you, in the same day almost. That's really weird, you know? And I know this is really scary to me because I know they will never stop. Proof of this comes today. Ethan from H3 Productions, H3 Productions, whatever the hell, I just call it H3. He was doing a live stream talking about Alex Jones. He showed some clips from Alex Jones' videos. And they immediately, almost within 20 minutes of that live stream, and within a few minutes of showing those clips, YouTube hit him with a community strike and took the stream down, restricted his streaming, gave him a live stream restriction. It's like, what, really? They're that persistent. And I got a question for you two. Where the hell was this persistence when Logan Paul filmed a dead body, and where was this persistence with Daddy of 5? And I bring these two up because with Logan Paul, not only did they not give him any community strike guidelines or none of this bullshit, they put him on trending. That video, that Suicide Forest video, was put on trending. Not the one where he's running around like a fucking retard through Japan, making everyone else's life miserable while they're trying to live their life, and this big dumb fucking mop-headed twink is running around screaming like a fucking retard. I'm talking about the one where he filmed a dead body while he's got that stupid ass hat on his head, and him and his other fucking leeches are laughing about the shit. You know? I'm talking about that video. That video was put on trending. They not only didn't do anything about this shit, even after it became a fucking national headline, they didn't even bother deleting the video. They didn't delete shit. He deleted it himself. And the most he got was his monetization was limited. They took away his YouTube Red series that no one watched. And they took him off Google Preferred. No, his channel isn't taking... And even after that, when he started tasing dead rats and killing fish and shit, which I know this kid's gonna become a fucking serial killer someday just from that shit alone. After all of that, they still keep him on YouTube. Why? Why? I'm pretty sure no matter what Alex Jones has said, it's like the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Whatever Alex Jones has said is not worse than what Logan Paul has done. So why is what Logan Paul has done not being punished in the same way as what Alex Jones has said? It's not being punished in the same way. And I know this is different companies also along with YouTube. This is also Facebook, Spotify, and Apple. But with the reason I bring up the YouTube situation is because they fucked over Ethan for talking about Alex Jones. For something so inoffensive. They fucked him over because he's talking about Alex Jones and showing clips from the show. Why? What reason? What reason was there for that? And I also bring up Daddy of 5. Because again, another situation in which they didn't do shit until it became a national headline. They didn't do shit until people started talking about it. And everyone, all these media outlets looking at YouTube like, what are you doing? What are you actually doing about this? And in that case, with both of the asshole channels, where he's abusing his kids and making his own kids abuse each other, guess what? He got taken down. And then there's this other asshole, CJ So Cool, who fucking gave his kids laxative. You know? That took like 2 years for YouTube to do something about that. you know? But they did something, but here's the problem I'm having. YouTube is inconsistent. What they did, what Daddy of 5 has done, CJ So Cool's done, is terrible. It's undeniably shitty what they did. Because they're using their own kids for views and likes and shit. Which is just like, come up with some fucking talent for once in your life. Don't use children who can't do anything about the bullshit that's happening to them. Okay? But why do they get taken down? Logan Paul is still up there. He's still on the site. No, his channel isn't taken down. Why is that? And then we go back to Ethan. He did nothing wrong. All he did was talk about Alex Jones. He showed some clips from the Alex Jones show, reacted to them, and all of a sudden, community strike. Logan Paul didn't get that. All these other creators who did some horrible, shitty things didn't get that. Rice Gum didn't get that. What happened? What is with YouTube's inconsistency here? You know, I know this is mainly a YouTube rant, but I feel like YouTube is getting more and more. I don't know if they're being deliberately inconsistent, playing favorites, or they're just completely incompetent. I don't know at this point. So I'm gonna add this little bit at the end here because this is later on after I recorded the original video. I'm gonna jump in here and then get on with the rest of the video. But apparently, a little update: Ethan's channel has been the guideline strike was lifted and he can live stream now. I'm happy, but also I think this should never have happened in the first place. So there's that. Also, to add to the Alex Jones thing, I don't think YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Apple helped themselves because all they did was make Alex Jones a victim. And you don't want to make the person you want to perceive as a villain the victim, because that's just not that doesn't help you at all. Especially when this was just so blatantly a way to silence him. I don't know what they hope to accomplish with this, and the fact that they blatantly did it, they didn't even like spread it out throughout the year. They just all did it at once as a fuck you, and I guess didn't think anyone was going to question it. I don't know. These companies do get a little too cocky for their own fucking good. And to add to the YouTube stuff, I mean, they always go after people who don't really do that much horrible shit. Rarely they do. They rarely do. You know, the Elsagate thing shouldn't have gotten that big, but it did. So there's that. The Daddy of 5 thing shouldn't have took this long, especially the CJ So Cool thing. Here's the problem. That shit took 2 years to get done, for something to be done. 2 years. Keep in mind that, first of all, the only way I saw this through someone else, a video talking about his channel being taken down. I must have not been paying attention because I clicked on a Pyrocynical video on it. And I'm like, yeah, it's some brilliant insight on the... Wait, 2016? I'm sorry, we're in 2018. You mean to tell me it took him 2 years to take care of the situation? You know? They go after the people who don't do the most inoffensive shit ever. You know? And the people who they do go after that do horrible shit, they don't do nothing about it until it becomes a big thing. Until it becomes a news headline. That's when they do shit, to make themselves incompetent. And with the Logan Paul thing, they did punish him. They limited his monetization, took him off Google Preferred, and his stupid YouTube Red show was canceled. I don't think anyone cared about that. But then they had to overcompensate for their incompetence by going, well, we'll change the monetization program too. No, you did enough. Now all you're doing is making yourself look more incompetent than you actually are. You're overcompensating for your own stupidity. Doing this isn't going to make us think you're any less stupid. In fact, it's going to make us think you're even stupider than we even thought. The channels that bother random YouTubers and call them out and have their dumb little fucking fan base of 14-year-olds go after them because they think they're fucking cool and edgy. They want to be part of the hive mind or whatever the fuck. Yeah, people like Leafy is here, who's been gone ever since iDubbbz just gave him the Marcellus Wallace treatment. But then you got people like Papa Timmy and fucking Simply Dad who just fuck with people because these... Like Simply Dad, for example, commented on the fact that I do the same videos he does, but I criticized him. Difference is, you do the shit you do because some 12-year-old fan base tells you to. Your 12-year-old fan base wants you to do more Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Videos on people who do Five Nights at Freddy's channels and gameplays and shit. I talk about an array. I don't do what some fan base wants me to do all the fucking time. And if I'm not going to talk about the same shit every time either. Every party I've talked about, I've had an actual problem with, and I wasn't doing it just because they want me to. Everyone I talked about had a legitimate problem with. People like fucking Hack Snyder, they're all different types of people too. Not the same kind of person. Not always. You got people like Hack Snyder and Andre Cedino. They're kind of the same kind of person. One's a Marvel fanboy, the other one's a DC fanboy. You got Danielle Bergoli, who's just this ghetto fucking hood rat. You got fucking Nancy Grace. She's some cunt on the news. Ajit Pai, who runs the FCC. Amos Yee, who defends pedophilia. Well, I didn't really talk about him. I just made fun of him. That's about it. Just recently, Monday Night. I don't do these kind of videos just to please some fucking 12-year-old edgelords. I do them because I actually have a problem with the people I'm talking about. Like Jim Jeffries, comedian, and does his own shitty fucking Comedy Central show. I didn't do that because, hey, the 12-year-olds want to see it, let's do it. No, I did it because I had an actual problem with the person. I gotta get it off my chest. Net Alien 17, Nature Restored. They're all different types of people. Some of them are the same as the other, but come on. It's not just Five Nights at Freddy's bullshit all day, every day. Granted, I do the same kind of videos every day, but it's not about the same shit every fucking day. Major difference. So people like that, they're gonna get by under YouTube's radar because YouTube is just as inconsistent as fuck. And they rely on algorithms and all this other shit. And YouTube will never fix this shit. They will never fix it. They'll just keep it as it is. Do whatever the fuck they want. Get rid of whoever they want. I especially find it highly suspect they got rid of, or at least tried to take down Ethan. That was really fucking shitty. And it was highly suspect. Anyway, here's the rest of the video. Let me prove to you their incompetence right now. So, this is a video called Country Cousins, and it's something I was going to talk about back in like November of 2017. And among other videos, of course. And I was going to do a video on YouTube, how incompetent they are. And I said, you know what, fuck it. I don't even have the energy to even put into a video like that, so I'll just leave it alone. This whole Ethan H3 situation had brought that out of me now. And this was uploaded on August 11, 2017. So when you're seeing this, it'll have been the 1-year anniversary. This has been up for a full fucking year. This was the first video I thought of when I said I want to make this. Here's how incompetent YouTube is. The first video I thought of. And I was shocked to still see this sitting here. Like, how? I can't even claim I gotta censor it, by the way, because you know, they'll actually try to be consistent with their own rules. You know, even though it'll just be complete irony. For fuck's sake. The most this video got was age restriction. Wow, good for you. You actually age restricted the video. Good. And not even from the guy. I think this wasn't age restricted by the uploader. I think it was age restricted by YouTube. It's a porno film. How? And in the recommendeds is fucking Caligula. And if you don't know what Caligula is, please look it up. Because I'm not going to sit here and explain this shit to you. Please just look it up. It's pure pornography. But look up some of the worst shit in that fucking movie. And that's up here. I don't know. It's baffling. H3 gets taken down, gets a fucking community guideline strike for talking about one person, showing some clips from a video of that person. This is still up here? How? How the hell is that even possible? I can't even claim YouTube was playing favorites with Logan Paul because this isn't just Logan. This guy's no Logan Paul. He's nowhere near as popular as Logan Paul. I don't know who the hell this person is. He only has like 730-something subs because of this particular video. Oh, fuck. It's giving me a fucking headache talking about this. I mean, how is this even allowed? The top comment was, how is this even on YouTube? And I agree. How the fuck is this even on YouTube exactly? You know, people get taken down for the most inoffensive bullshit on this site, but this is up here. You have no problem leaving this up. So I can't even at this point say it's favoritism with the Logan Paul thing over the Daddy of Five thing where they got taken down, but Logan Paul's still around on the site. It's just incompetence. I don't know what the hell Susan Jabberwocky is doing with this fucking site anymore, but she has to go. Or we need somebody who's competent or something. Someone who's got some sort of fucking conviction, because this is insanity. This is insane. Like, how is this allowed? Meanwhile, I had a video messing with that Anna Marie Sorelli chick, the one who was yelling at the couple in that store about making out or whatever, even though they weren't really doing that. I got in trouble. I got my video taken down. That video was taken down for this shit similar to this. Not even similar. It's the same shit. It's the same exact shit, pretty much. YouTube, do yourself a favor. I'm gonna put up the Anthony Cumia clip again. Do yourself a favor.
Fix your shit!